Prynhawn da, a chroeso I ddinas Cardiff ac I seremoni radio Prifysgol Cardiff. Good afternoon and welcome to the city of Cardiff and to the graduation ceremony of Cardiff University. I'm Dr. Chris Turner, and it's with great pleasure that as University Director I welcome you all to today's graduation ceremony. We are here to celebrate our students' achievements, and I'm particularly pleased to welcome parents, family and friends to join in this celebration. I'm joined here on stage by the Pro-Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, the academic staff and the Students' Union representative. The Pro-Chancellor of the Council of the University, Mr. Dick Roberts, will formally open proceedings, and then the proclamation will be read by Ben Screen from the School of Welsh. Following this, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Elizabeth Treasure, will receive students to their award. Beside me is Professor Paul Atkinson, the University's orator, and later he will introduce our Honorary Fellow. Honorary Fellowships are awarded at our graduation ceremonies to those who have achieved great distinction in their field, and today we're honoured to welcome Dr. Paul Langmaid. Students, today marks a marvellous milestone in your life, as it does in the lives of those who have supported you over the last few years, and it's good to see that so many of them are here today. I'm sure it will enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the day if we spend a few moments going through the procedures for the ceremony. Now, for those of you receiving an award today, perhaps you thought that passing your exams was the biggest challenge in gaining your degree, but an even bigger challenge faces you today. You still have to cross this stage and shake hands with the correct person. Try not to seek your award from anyone other than the Deputy Vice-Chancellor. The order of proceedings is included in the programme along with the words used for the various stages of the ceremony and under the relevant heading. A presenter will read out the names of the students being received to the same award. When each name is called, the student will ascend the stage, walk towards the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and shake her hand. Now, whilst past experience has shown this to be a little more challenging than it sounds, your approach to the stage and your return to your seat will be carefully guided by our specially trained marshals. So don't worry, once the ceremony is underway, it really is a case of follow the leader. When you leave the stage, you will stand with your group facing the stage, and the Deputy Vice-Chancellor will formally receive you to your awards. You will doff in reply, and you will then be reseated by the marshals. I will then ask that all those who have received an undergraduate diploma or degree in any aspect of healthcare to stand for the recital of the healthcare oath. Following that, I will ask everyone who has received an award at this ceremony to stand to receive the university's greetings. As each graduate crosses the stage, I wonder if we could restrict the clapping to some polite applause, please, and reserve more general applause for when the Deputy Vice-Chancellor has admitted each group of graduates to their awards. General whooping and cheering is permitted at that point. Finally, can I please ask that you check to ensure that your mobile phone is switched off. Enjoy the ceremony.
Prynhawn da, a croeso cynnes I Cardiff heddiw a Huganu'r Dewi Sant. You have a very warm welcome to the ceremony at St David's Hall and to our 2013 graduation. I'm Dick Roberts, as you've been told. I'm privileged to be the Pro-Chancellor of the University, having been involved with it for many years, and I'll come to that later on. The theme that I want to get across to you is one of congratulations. Firstly, on winning a place in the university, in one of the most sought-after universities in the UK, admission standards being very high, and for every one of you who achieved that ambition, several did not. Many of you have travelled great distances to come to Cardiff, and the rewards of a degree at this university. Cardiff students are valued around the world for their skill, knowledge and attitude. Secondly, congratulations on all of you who have achieved in your academic studies. Those in research-led teaching is one of the distinctive features of Cardiff University, and many of you will have participated in research projects, learned to ask new questions and to challenge conventional wisdom. Whatever you do in life, I hope that the free, inquiring state of mind of Cardiff will remain with you. We also pride ourselves in involving you, the students, in the development and direction of your courses. This year, 79% of you took part in the National Student Survey, placing Cardiff's response significantly higher than most other universities. We don't have, of course, the figures as yet as to what that actual survey satisfaction revealed. You gave your feedback and such areas of assessment on learning resources and personal development. Those opinions will greatly help us in planning for the future. You should be congratulated for studying at the fine academic schools, part of the College of Biomedical and Life Sciences, which are represented here today. The School of Healthcare Studies is the leading provider of education for allied health professionals in Wales and is one of the leading schools in the United Kingdom. As students, you've experienced teaching and guidance at the very highest level. Indeed, amongst your tutors are individuals responsible for shaping a physiotherapy programme for the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games, the legacy of which will travel to the next Games in Rio. Within the school are included such disciplines as diagnostic radiography, physiotherapy, oncology with radiotherapy, occupational therapy, and pre-registration programs, all of which have been recognised by the Health Professions Council. The School of Dentistry is the only dental school in Wales and provides significant leadership in dental training, research and patient care. The school's academic and clinical staff are recognised as being world-leading experts in their fields. Their guidance, combined with the school's state-of-the-art facilities, have ensured you're well equipped to respond effectively to the challenges of clinical practice in the 21st century. The School of Optometry and Vision Scientists is the only optometric training department in Wales and has an international reputation as a school. And in the recent Higher Education Fund and Council assessment of undergraduate teaching quality in UK departments, the school obtained one of the highest rankings throughout the UK and was awarded the designation Excellent. With an enviable nearly 100% employment rate post-registration, students benefit from state-of-the-art facilities, excellent staff-student relations and a strong student society. It's also something that I'm very proud of because I was involved with, home to the Welsh Optometric Postgraduate and Education Centre, which offer a portfolio of postgraduate learning and the only such postgraduate centre of its type in Europe and, we think, the world. So congratulations on what you have brought as students to Cardiff in recent years. Students have successfully combined study with setting up their own businesses. Efforts have helped the homeless here in Cardiff and helped to pay for clean water in Africa and other examples of their efforts worldwide. Sport plays an important part in university life, and your contribution has been enormous again this year. You retained the varsity shield for Cardiff, and others of you have competed on the international stage in rowing, cycling, judo and more. One of your fellow students, Jenny McLaughlin, achieved Paralympic success, winning a bronze medal at the London Games, a great honour for Jenny and for this university. I do have, however, one confession, and that is when I sat at the varsity rugby match, which regrettably we lost to Swansea, I didn't declare at that stage that the outside half for Swansea was my great nephew who actually contributed most of the points. That's an apology I won't have to make next year. Many of you will have taken part in student volunteering in Cardiff. It's one of the largest such schemes in the country. You've given more than 80,000 hours of your time in the past year, helping more than 900 people week on week. You are the prime reason why Cardiff University is so valued in its home community. And at this point, I'd like to pay my own personal tribute to the work of the Students' Union and their officers. In the time that I've spent on council, and certainly council members have always valued the contribution of the Students' Union, and in Cardiff we've been extremely fortunate in the calibre of leadership we've enjoyed over several years, not least of which, and perhaps exceptionally, that of this year of Harry Newman. Finally, of course, congratulations on becoming a fine Cardiff University graduate. Round the world, Cardiff graduates are leaders in business, in the arts, in healthcare, and of course in all fields of academic study. I know you will build on their achievements. In Cardiff itself, and here today we have represented at this graduation ceremony 3 schools, all of which have one common thread. Your future careers will all be focused on delivering healthcare services in the 21st century. Much maligned though the NHS is, and not without justification in some areas, but inappropriate and inaccurate complaints in others, one thing is certain: it is incapable of delivering the expected standards of care based on the original model of general practice and hospital service. So many patients are referred unnecessarily to secondary care for diagnosis and treatment, but this can be done much more appropriately in primary care setting. And all of you, in the disciplines that you followed, are capable of delivering much of this. It's vital there's a different approach, and that graduates from each of the schools today, when established in their careers, it's vital you should all take a lead in shaping the future development, lest successive ministers of health and their officials get it wrong time and time again. As you embark on your future careers, please see yourselves as the leaders of your profession. Cardiff University has been an important part of your lives for the last 3 years, and in some cases more. I like to think of Cardiff University as being a virus, but one which is untreatable. Once you've got it, you never get rid of it, and I'm an example. When I was here in the 60s, and when I was student president, when I left, at that stage I thought that my ties with the university would finish. Well, they never have. I've been here lecturing part-time for many years and been on the Past Students Association, served on council for a very long time, and was very fortunate and privileged to be its vice chair for 8 years. It is vital to Cardiff University, it is vital for the economy of Wales, that all of you who've gone through this university contribute in your future lives in a way which is meaningful to society. I hope you'll see what is happening today as a new beginning in your lives. Cherish your time on the university. Look back at it with fondness and indeed with aspiration for the future. You have it within you in the body of this whole to change society for the good. Thank you.
I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh, then in English. Nerth gwlad y gwybodaeth, bod hysbys i holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd y lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd cael ei gynnal heddiw yn Prifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod siarter frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod i dderbyn y myfyrwyr sydd yn rhwymedd y hystyriaethau a hysylhaicdod wedi'u harholi'n briodol yn unol â ystadudau'r Brifysgol ac wedi'u cael yn dailwng o'i graddau. Wrth allu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cylliad hwn, mae atgoffwn y cyfrifoldeb i gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon, nod iddynt o'u ceisio drwy cyflawniadau wasanaethu'r lles pawb, ymdrechu sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth, ac yn boeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Gwrandewch yn awchus ar y ddiwineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad a gwybodaeth, a nation's strength is in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today, in the capital city of Wales, congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the University's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek, through their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence in all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
I, Dr. Margaret Woodhouse, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Chastine. Rebecca Abel. Ajmeen Sayada Ali. Jasmeet Kaur Bara. Bianca Ballard. Christina Adelaide Bass. Chong B. Lai. Daniel Beach. David Berry. Caris Ellen Bowden. James Nicholas Braun. Anya Campbell. Caroline Deborah Campbell. Ashley Dana Chesson. Pui Hung Chong. Joanne Cross. Zana Dasani. Katie Elisa Davis. Julienne Desjardins. Stephanie Doherty. Laura Donovan. Laura Early. Kate Indira Evans.
At this point in the ceremony, and at other equivalent times, it is a tradition of the University for the Vice-Chancellor to speak in Welsh, to receive each group of graduates to their awards. The Welsh phrase I will use when translated means, "Through the authority conferred upon me by the University, I receive you to the degree, in this case Bachelor of Science, and to all the privileges of that degree." Troi ar adydod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi dibynniaf hwy I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag I hodd ffreniau radd hon. Congratulations.
Fitzgerald. Alison Zoe Fletcher. Chloe Laura Dorcas Gaston. Philip William Gibson. Roseanne Jane Gill. Brian Hall. Greg Hammond. Rebecca Mary Harding. Alicia Faye Harvey. Siti Nurfaizura Binti Hasnan. Hannah Haywood. Christy Highfield. Angharad Elizabeth Hobby. Martha Hunt. Shindy G. Tim Jerome. Catherine Elena Jones. Arifa Kanji. Sarah Catherine Kelly. Nabila Danji Kanbai. Gideon Go Chi Kong.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi dibynniaf chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag I hodd freniau radd hon. Congratulations.
Sarah Jane Lau. Lee Kang Lian. Rebecca Long. Philippa Ann Longmore. Wing Xing Lo. Gemma Malanafi. Oscar Martinez. Anna Matthews. Regina McCafferty. Emma Marie McMahon. Noor Amira Binti Mio Shaharuddin. Nida Mirza. Nurul Sayada Mohammed Sari. Andrew Moss. Stacey Myatt. Anna Louise O'Hare. Bethany Orpin. Emily Hannah Osborne. Ishika Patel. Jamini Patel. Scott Phillips. Lisa Picton.
Trwy awchardydod a brifysgol a ymtheriedwyd I mi dyrbaniaf chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ac I hodd ffreniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
Chloe Poole. Sabira Rahman. Rebecca Riley. Lowry Havina Rook. Nicola Salter. Camille Sanola. Jesus Sastre Enjuto. Elisa Dobnikovs. Jason Searle. Amy Francesca Seaton. Gilna Shah. Selina Shah. Barry Sheehan. Valkiran Singh. Marcus Paul Slater. Sophie Slater. Sophie Thomas. Charles Mamet. Sejal Vithlani. Sarah Meyer Williams. Jenny Nsao Yen. Cecilia Young.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymtheriedwyd I mi, dyrbaniaf chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Michael Lewis, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Dental Surgery. Tanim Ahmed. Nurul Fatin Azizan. Esther Ann Brewer. Emily Broadhurst. Katie Jane Chapman. Gregory Liam Morris Coffey. Stephanie Lisa Horns. Carly Ann Cummins. Jasmine Louise Davey. Laurie Aidan Davis. Harriet Elizabeth Day. Caitlin Devlin. Nia Miriam Edwards. Christina Louise Ems. Christopher Evanson. Thomas Mark Friend. Anthony Gadd. Elizabeth Gilks. Nick Hill Gogner. Alistair David Harwood.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi dybanu a chwi I radd baglo mewn llawfyddagaeth ddeintyddol ac I hoff freniau a radd hon. Congratulations.
Esther Hitchens. Sukhjit Jaswal. Lowry Angharad Jones. Imran Kassam. Dipti Kate Chia. Kieran John Lambert. Caris Holy Lock. Temito Pei Mackinday. Ifsal Khan Maluk. Umish Nagradran. Jeetpal Singh Panasar. Adam Parkinson. Asher Bansri Palmer. Bhavin Patel. Sherali Patel. Nikita Patel. Pooji Petrola. Rhys Lewis Redford. Jasmine Reed. Ewan Rees.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybon I â chwi I radd baglo mewn llawfyddygaeth ddeintyddol ac I hoff freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
Tristan Emir Papaluni Roberts. Mala Sabharwal. Omar Salamat. Adesh Salvla. Alpen Shah. Ashika Shah. Ashish Nitikoma Shah. Priyan Shah. Sashin Seth. Lawrence Smith. Alice Springle. Laura Jane Stacey. Emily Ann Stanworth. Nazar Razul Syed. Jessica Thomason. Joshua Twigg. Manzi Valera. Claire Leslie Wilson. Jonathan Woods.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybon I â chwi I radd baglo mewn llawfyddygaeth ddeintyddol ac I hoff freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Michael Lewis, introduce those who have received the Diploma of Higher Education. Laura Ashman. Katie Jane Ellis. Holly Herford. Carly James. Christina Limbu. Carly Morman. Holly Struthers. Megan Elizabeth Thomas. Eleanor Williams. Roxanne Orton. Charlotte Ann Baker. Sarah Davis. Gemma Morgan. Samantha Louise Simpson. Claire Weeks.
Troi awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi, I ddiploma addysg uwch ag I hodd y freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Sheila Hunt, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Kaylee Bounds. Kelsey Rose Bryan. Denise Chung. Rebecca Louise Church. David Cooper. Ian Rees Crocker. Gemma Louise Davis. Sam Edwards. Amina Bushra Eggar. Dane Evans. Francesca Catherine Marjorie Foster. Jessica Gore. Haja Hamzaz Haji Munawar. Christopher Ian Thomas Haysett. Kirsty Michelle Hillier. Rebecca Elizabeth James. Sarah Louise Katrina Jardine. Hannah Victoria Jones. Holly Alice Jones. Polly Kendrick. Ellen Kinsella. Nadia Kylie Knight. Rebecca Knight. Joanne Lloyd. Kira Maria McMahon. Nurul Hidayah Mohammed Jais.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymtheried oed I mi, dybani af chwi I gradd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ac I hodd freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
James O'Sullivan. Geraint David Rees. Rachel Richards. Stephen Paul Ridley. Rachel Irene Roman. David Ross. Jade Rundle. Victoria Rylands. Rina Dashim Shah. Tansy Danielle Studdard. Wilson Tang. Julie Ann Templeton Cray. Philippa Emily Tennant. Carly Treble. Ashley Richard Truran. Lawrence Sang. Sarah Woodlake. Abdullah Mohammed Al-Harbi. Ayman Abdul Messon Al-Ojain. Zoe Louise Andrews. Alison Faye Barnett. Veronique Bazin. Melissa Jane Beard. Anna Francesca Bello. Kelly Lee Bird. Emily Blunden Codd.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol ymtheried oed I mi, dybani af chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ac I hodd ffreniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
Catherine Ann Carlos. Rosie Elizabeth Cooper. Sarah Non Davis. Carrie-Anne Bernice Dooley. Heather Claire Ellis. Claire Alison Evans. Corina Laura Evans. Jacqueline Evans. Christopher Foster. Stephen Freddie Arney. Owen Garvey. Amy Charlotte Gledhill. Victoria Louise Grant. Sadie Jane Gray. Amalina Haji Yahi. Kate Rhian Hughes. Shelley Marianne Elizabeth Jenkins. Betson Pierce Jones. Mandy Mary Jones. Nicole Emma Jones. Rhian Jones. Amanda Llewellyn. Jenny Matthews. Jamie Mondaly. Elaine McCarran. Ruby May Miller.
Troi awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddiriedwyd i mi dyboniaf chwi i radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag i hodd freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
Laura Jane New. Ian James Nurse. Gail Olson. Charlotte Jacqueline O'Reilly. Victoria Coral Parks. Rachel Ann Payne. Sarah Price. Tracy Ann Price. Perpetua Janie Rayan. Jessica Rees. Lucy Jane Richards. Eleanor Nia Roberts. Sarah Louise Rowe. Mechan Rhian Sadler. Fionn Mair Thomas. Julia Elizabeth Thomas. Rebecca Ann Walters. Kiva Brid Webb. Maria Wilcox. Anna Claire Williams. Beverly Ann Williams. William James Pasquier. Cordelia Jane Asher. Charlotte Bayliss. Michael John Bell.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol yn theriedwyd I mi, dybyniaf chi I radd baglo mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I hoff freniau radd hon. Congratulations.
Catherine Bester. Joseph Blackburn. Rachel Brett. Joanna Marie Cavell. Lucy Shaldecott. Kay Hei Shan. Leanna Chappell. Emily Clark. Danielle Maria Cocking. Michael Andrew Cook. Lucy Rosemary Crane. Hannah Claire Crowney. Catherine Wynne Davis. Katie Davis. Nathan John Davis. Suzanne Louise Davis. Anton Duffy. Rhian Mary Edwards. Richard David Edwards. Emma Catherine Evans. Ellen Rose Ewer. Erin Gaskell. Mark Gurlis. Hazel and Maria Genevieve. Andrew Godfrey.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybanu a chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ac I holl freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
David Andrew Goff. Sita. Noor Diana Hajid Mohammed Alipa. Charlotte Emma Hall. Anna Harvey. Nia Mairead Spencer Haswell. Melissa Louise Haven. Amy Louise Henderson. Luke Henderson. Bethany Hodge. Sarah Jane Hornsby. Nuremi Mahira Ishmael. Holly Jane James. Rhiannon Ellery Jones. Laura Kelly. Rebecca Emily Lamb. Hannah Leach. Sophie Elizabeth Leach. Rebecca Ann Lee. David Shane Lamazni. Charlotte Lewis. Ross Geraint Lewis. Mia Lightburn. Gina Locke. Louise Jane Lord. Rebecca Charlotte Mann. Deborah Joy Mason.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymtheriedwyd I mi, dybaniaeth chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag I hoff freniau a radd hon. Congratulations.
Jessica Mary Matthews. Kate Mattick. Ryan James McCavick. Rachel Meering. Rhiannon Elizabeth Mercer. Rebecca Morgan. Philip Vittorio Nadoni. Sarah Nelms. Anne-Marie Newman. Bethan O'Rourke. Lydia Mary Osborne. Chelsea Paul. Martin Perry. Joshua Arthur Hetty. Alexander Robert Price. Benjamin Piner. Lloyd Roberts. Sorry, can I say it again? It was Lloyd Rogers. My apologies. My apologies. Elizabeth Ann Russell. Rhian Scannell. Samuel Sharrock. Hannah Olivia Sherwood. Georgia Roma Smythe. Rachel Louise Southall. Claire Spencer Jones. Hilary Victoria Taylor. Charlotte Louise Telford.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymthriedwyd I mi, dybaniaeth chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag I hoff y freniau a radd hon. Congratulations.
Alexandra Sarah Thomas. Claire Michelle Thomas. Sean Gwethlian Thomas. James Thorpe. Jack Titley. Rachel Jane Tufts. Melissa Anna Tish. Rachel Waddington. Louisa Wayhill. Thomas Lewis White. Amy Williamson. Alexandra Board. Holly Lauren Brown. Jeremy Kyle Burton. Eloise Susanna Casey. Lucy Hannah Davis. Sarah Elizabeth Evans. Lucinda Catherine Griffiths. Rachel Kate Harris. Rosalind Hawes. Ellery Lewis. John McMahon. Anne-Marie McKay. Helena Mary Newman. Miriam Rogers. Charlotte Staley. Hannah Taylor.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymtheriadwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I radd baglo man gwyddoniaeth ag I hoff freniau a radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Sheila Hunt, introduce those who have received the Certificate of Higher Education. Rachel Jane Antley. Jocelyn Shani Christie. Alison Elaine Moss. Jemima Kate Rees. Teresa Williams. Shamila Sarah Maria Woolley. John Putman.
Leave out Daddy. Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I dystysgrif addysg uwch ag I hodd y freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Sheila Hunt, introduce those who have received the Diploma of Higher Education. Ria Patricia Blackmore. Eleanor Kate Coburn. Reese Harris. Samantha Hyam. Shona Lewis. Abby Mansbridge. Kerry Alexandra Smith. Jennifer Louise Mary Utley.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I ddiploma addysg uwch ag I hodd y freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the postgraduate certificate. Rwy fi ar athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn y disgystrif ôl raddedig. Jessica Carolyn Cole, Katie Roseanne Evans, Alistair Watson.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I dystysgrif ôl raddedig ag I hodd freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the postgraduate diploma. A rwy fi ar athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn y diploma o raddedig. Nicola Marie Baker, Jennifer Catherine Bradley, Ludmila Chaliga, Helen Sylvia Coles, Rosalind Helen Conacher, Catherine Mavanui Edwards, Richard Thomas Hewitt, Milan Jama, Alex Emily Jones, Elizabeth Jane King, Lucy Marit Palmer, Hannah Rhianwen Claire Preedy, Emily Jane Rue, Annie Dorothy Sarah Santa, Rebecca Sian Stackhouse, Orion Sian Stamp, Amy Tattersall, Rachel Louise Williams.
Troi awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi dybanu a chwi I ddiploma olraddedig ag I hodd freini a'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Clinical Dentistry. A roi fi yr athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn gradd athro mewn dentyddiaeth clinigol. Mohamed Al-Azemi, Emad Khalid Al-Ujabi,
Troi awdurdod a brifysgol ymddiriedwyd I mi dybanu a chwi I gradd athro mewn deintyddiaeth glinigol ag I hodd y freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Dental Science. A roi fi yr athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn gradd athro mewn gwyddoniaeth dentyddiol. Mark Bainbridge, Yan Ting Chong, Jacqueline Michelle Hartnett,
Troi awdurdod a brifysgol ymddiriedwyd I mi dybanu a chwi I radd athro mewn gwyddoniaeth ddeintyddol ag I hodd y freiniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. A roi fi yr athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn gradd athro mewn gwyddoniaeth. Ranjana Bhatt, Raza Mohammed M. Al-Nabulsi, Laura Williams, Afolasade Ulwatosin Fatomini, Marisa Mount, Darwin Victor Paulraj, Helena Louise Poulton, Elena Carley, Kanishk, Saud Mohammed Il Alaf Rifi, Haydar Hussein K. Ali Ami, Thiago Araujo de Mello, Katerina Anna Lesko, Paul William Toos, Seth Kwadjo Angmoreth, Peter James Elliott, Hussein Saleh H. Ghulam, Pooja Chandrakant Swar, Stephen Avery, Sophie Karen Escott, Hannah Louise John, Rachel Louise Moses.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol ymddiriedwyd I mi, dyboniaf chwi i'ch radd athro man gwyddoniaeth ag I hoff freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations. No M4.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Philosophy. Arwy fi ar athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn gradd athro mewn athroniaeth. Matthew Bernard Miles Thomas.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol ymddiriedwyd I mi, dyboniaf chwi I radd athro mewn athroniaeth ag I hoff freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Dylan Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Arwy fi ar athro Dylan Jones yn cyflwyno rai sydd wedi derbyn gradd doethur mewn athroniaeth. Christopher Mark Dillingham. Erin Patricia Dooley. Thomas Duncan. Alana Jane Gaffney. Yaiza Garcia Sanchez. Hanan Wahid Salim Khalil. Nut Luras, Gabriel Michaud, Hashmat Popat, Stephen Woolley, Gaofeng Zhang.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol, ymddiriedwyd i ni dibynnu a chwi i radwythi'r mewn athroniaeth ac i hoff y freniau'r radd hon. Congratulations.
We now come to an important and indeed solemn part of the ceremony, and that is the recital of the healthcare oath. Can I ask all of you who have received an undergraduate diploma or degree in any aspect of healthcare to stand? Can I also invite the platform party to stand? The oath reader will declare the oath first in Welsh and then in English, and then ask you to agree the oath with the words, "I do."
O ddawaf, mae fy mloriaeth gyntaf fydd gofalu am fy ngleifion. Byddaf yn garedig ar y phob claf ac ymdrechaf i gyfathrebu yn y ffeithlon gyda nhw. Byddaf yn parchu urddas eu cyfatroedd a'i hawl i gyfrannu'n llawn ar benderfyniadau mwynhau gofal. Byddaf yn onest ac yn ddibynadwy bob amser ac yn parchu a diwgel i gybodaeth gyfrinachol. Ni fydd yn yngydoedd personol i yn amharu ar ofal fy ngleifion. Trwy gydnabod cyfyngiadau fy nghyhoesedd, byddai bob amser yn diweddaru fy ngwybodaeth am sgiliau proffesiynol. Os bydd gennyf reswm da i gredu nad i fi neu gydweithiwr yn addas i weithio, byddaf yn gweithredu'n gyflym i ddogelu cleifion rhag perygl. Ni byddaf fi yn camddefnyddio fy sefyllfa proffesiynol a byddaf yn gweithio gyda chydweithwyr yn y ffordd orau y lles y cleifion. Yn y holl faterion hyn, ni byddaf fi byth yn gwahaniaethu'n anheg yn erbyn fy ngleifion na'n cydweithwyr a byddaf yn barod gifionhau fy ngwrthwedoedd ydyn toi ym mhob achos. Rhoddaf yr addewid yma ar fy llw yn wirfoddol ac o ddifrif. I promise that I will make the care of my patients my first concern. I will be considerate to all my patients and will strive to communicate with them effectively. I will respect my patients' dignity and autonomy and their right to be fully involved in decisions about their care. At all times I will be honest and trustworthy, respecting and protecting confidential information. My personal beliefs will not prejudice my care of patients. Recognising the limits of my competence, I will keep my personal knowledge and skills up to date. If I believe that I or a colleague may not be fit to practice, I will act quickly to protect patients from risk. I will not abuse my professional position and will work with colleagues in the ways that best serve patients. I will never discriminate unfairly against patients or colleagues, and I will always be prepared to justify my actions to them. Make this promise solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. If you agree to the terms of the oath, say, "I do."
can I invite all of you now who have received your awards this afternoon to stand so that you can receive the greetings of the Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Dick Roberts, and from Hannah Pask, the representative of the Students' Union.
May your care ever be for the good name of the University and for the well-being of the world.
You are now members of the distinguished alumni of this university. May your association with the university be cherished and be constant throughout your life. And may your care ever be for the fellowship of our university and the welfare of all people.
Now, before you sit down, I'm sure that all you very proud graduates would like to join in a long-standing tradition at Cardiff University at these ceremonies, and that is to pay a special tribute to your families and friends who've supported you in so many ways over many years, not least financially, and indeed to thank the academic staff who have helped you reach this important point in your life today. Can I therefore invite you to turn around to greet your family and friends and say a special and public thank you by giving them all an enthusiastic round of applause. Thank you, and please be seated.
Madam Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Paul Langmaid as a Fellow of Cardiff University. Paul Langmaid graduated from Cardiff School of Dentistry in 1975 and undertook house posts here in Cardiff in oral and maxillofacial surgery and in paediatric dentistry. He then went into private practice in Cornwall. Between 1986 and 1992, Dr. Langmaid worked for the ODA as a technical advisor in the British West Indies. He joined the civil service as a senior dental officer in 1993, and in 1996 he was appointed Chief Dental Officer for Wales, a post he held until his retirement in 2010. During his period of office as Chief Dental Officer, he provided significant leadership for the dental profession in Wales. He was involved in numerous major policy initiatives. They included the creation of innovative posts, bringing general practice and the community dental services in Wales, support for an integrated approach in promoting oral health for Wales, the introduction of block funding for vocational training in Wales, and the first proper dental workforce review in Wales. This, amongst many other things, has led to a significant increase in student numbers here in the Cardiff Dental School. Paul has played an important role in the General Dental Council, contributing to major initiatives on standards and ethics. He's also been a leader in the Council of European Chief Dental Officers, and he was a founder member of the European Association for Dental Public Health. His influence, his reputation have spread throughout Europe. Among the honours and public recognition received by Dr. Langmaid, he was added to the British Dental Association's Roll of Distinction, and in 2010 he was awarded a CBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours List. Madam Deputy Vice-Chancellor, with so many distinguished dental practitioners, students here in the hall today, I feel it was a really bad day for me to lose a filling. Anrhydedus di proi gan hellor, y cyflwynaf I ti Paul Langmaid fel camrawr ar anrhaddedd Prifysgol Cardiff.
Trwy awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y cyngor dibynnu chwi fel cymrawd anrhydedd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Congratulations, Paul.
Good. Speaking part at last. Pro Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Deans of the Dental School, School of Optometry and Vision Science, Healthcare Studies, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. First and foremost, I wish to thank the President and Vice-Chancellor and Council of Cardiff University for awarding me this honorary fellowship in recognition of my support of dentistry in Wales and the Cardiff Dental School in particular. Thank you. The weather outside and the natural desire of you to escape with family and friends to celebrate success precludes me from using this unique opportunity for me to speak for too long. You're lucky. That said, may I just mention a few things that have contributed to my presence here today. Fellowship is a great honour, and on a personal note, comes exactly 30 years after an award of a similar fellowship was bestowed on my late father for his work in establishing neurosurgery as a specialty in Wales. Had he lived long enough, he would have been 100 next week. I trust at last he'd be proud of me. As you heard earlier, I graduated from Cardiff Dental School in 1975, approximately 30 years ago. But much has changed in the world of dentistry since then. The scientific basis for the profession, the arrangements under which dentists are paid for National Health Service treatments, and the training needed previous to entering a general practice, where more than 90% of dentists still practice whatever payment system they work under. Those of you who graduate today have not just been awarded a degree, whatever degree you've been awarded, not just dentistry, but you've earned the right to be included on the lists of appropriate registration bodies, such as the GDC, General Dental Council, General Optical Council, and Health Professions Council, as fit and proper people entitled to practice a profession. With that registration comes a responsibility to consider patients' interests beyond our own. More than enough has been spoken about recent failures in the National Health Service, and it was touched on by the Pro-Chancellor earlier. A personal view of today's National Health Service was recently carried in the Faculty Dental Journal by former oral and maxillofacial surgery consultant Russell Hopkins, for whom I worked as a house officer, as you heard, some years ago. In it, he mentions his anger at the way the spirit of the National Health Services have been dissipated by politicians, civil servants and managers, and included an anecdote where the late Norman Whitehouse, a former dean of the Cardiff Dental School, told him, because of the forthright way in which he tackled management and government, that he wasn't a politician. Russell notes, "I thought that was a compliment." The founder dean of Cardiff Dental School, the late Brian Cook, reportedly said of me, "Langmaid will stand up for what he believes is right to the detriment of his career." I too thought this was a compliment, and if he was right, I hadn't noticed. I learned from this that you should do what you believe is the right thing, or you'll be doing the wrong thing, and become part of the disease, not part of the cure. Those of you with degrees in dentistry and optometry in particular and I couldn't think of an analogy in the other professions represented here, will use one particular word daily, which is open. Open wide, this will not hurt. Open your eyes, look up, this may sting a little, as you conduct an examination of your patient's teeth, mouth or retina. In your own career, reflect on this word open, not only with respect to continuing professional development and your own career trajectory, but also in the wider world. Keeping an open mind within the changing environment in which you will live and work is essential. As an example, a diverse and ageing population will challenge today as much as in Shakespeare's time. Jacques' classic monologue in the comedy As You Like It begins, "All the words the stage," and I'm on one, but it ends with sans eyes, sans teeth, sans taste, sans everything, and covers the 7 ages of man. Qualification in 2013 means the more rapid demographic changes in the United Kingdom than when I qualified bring different attitudes to health, different diseases and presentations of those diseases, and an increasingly informed demand and expectations from our public and patients. Caring for the older patient, as many of you will have to, in their own homes or in care homes, will bring the need for a skill set, not only in technical matters, but also embracing those of an interpersonal nature, where time and patience will be needed and appreciated. In dentistry, the profession I understand best, caring for a heavily restored occlusion, often supported with implants, will be a huge challenge. I'm sure eye diseases such as diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, cataracts, and AMD will offer similar challenges to optometrists. Hip, knee, shoulder replacements to our physiotherapists, rehabilitation to ensure safety in one's living accommodation necessitated by trauma, strokes, and ageing, pure and simple, for occupational therapists, and similar challenges for all new healthcare professionals working in their chosen career than I can possibly describe today. Now, finally, on a serious note, as a father myself, one of my daughters is here listening to me, probably the worst critic I have, and former members of the General Dental Council, its Fitness to Practice and Standards Committee, may I share with you the headline contents of this Tuesday's GDC press release on standards, forwarded to all registrants. And there are similar standards which are extant for all professions represented here today, but using dentistry as the model. As a GDC registrant, you have an individual responsibility to behave professionally and to follow the standards at all times. Standards of the dental team will be effective from the 30th of September 2013. If a complaint is made about you, it is against the principles of this document that your behaviour and conduct will be measured. And all registrants on the dental registers will be receiving a copy of this document during August. So make sure you've got the right address registered. However, when you decide to celebrate your award of a degree today, please remember, in the same way a dog is not for Christmas, Facebook is for life, not just graduation day, and it would be a pity to put your registration at risk inadvertently so early in your career. Thank you for your attention. I wish you and your families well, and hope that when time to reflect comes, you'll remember your days in Cardiff University with as much pleasure as I do. Thank you very much.
Paul, this I'm pleased to say is the end of the proceedings. I must say, sitting on the stage, I couldn't reflect this must have a record of being the largest sauna in the world. Can I, before I draw matters to a close, just a few words of thanks to those marshals who have done admirably well in making sure that the whole ceremony went without a hitch this afternoon. I'm sure you'd all like to thank them. And can I also thank the university organist, Robert Court, who yet again has done a fantastic job and does so year on year. He is the most superb organist, and can we also thank him? So before you leave and before your parents start looking at their somewhat depleted bank accounts, can I say that this occasion is for the university one of the most pleasurable in its calendar. It's a joy to be on the platform and to see the pride and indeed in some cases relief of all the new graduates as they cross the stage. It's wonderful too that you all had the opportunity to share this occasion with today's illustrious Honorary Fellow, Dr. Paul Langmate. And I can say hand on heart I had nothing to do with his honorary fellowship, but I had much to do and much to say about the friendship that he bestowed upon me when I was first appointed as Chief Optometric Advisor in the Assembly, and the way in which Paul made sure that the integration of optometry into that inner sanctum went so smoothly. And indeed, Paul, we share the distinction of having shared a PA. I trust the joy and pride you feel today will stay with you always. In the years to come, you'll look back at your time at Cardiff and realise the happiness you've experienced, the friendships you've made, and the depth of knowledge and experience that you've gained. Today, you join the worldwide family of Cardiff University alumni. It's a family that helps you stay in touch, both with each other and with us. I hope you'll remember and share your experience, that you'll come back to the university often, you'll continue to support the university so that new generations can benefit, as you have done, from the outstanding teaching and learning here at Cardiff. On behalf of Cardiff University, your academic staff, the officers, your fellow students and the great body of alumni throughout the world, I wish you every success in your future careers. Thank you.